with many entertainment venues in China, including an estimated 11,000 cinema theaters, as well as major resorts such as Disneyland Park in Shanghai, temporarily closed to the Wuhan coronavirus outbreak, the immediate negative impact on China's entertainment industry is already significant. My guest today, Rotus Oddiri, is a film critic and an entertainment and business analyst with many years of experience reviewing the film industry. He will be shedding some light on the impact of the virus in China and how its spread may affect the entertainment industry globally, especially on an emerging industry like Nollywood. Rotus is also very passionate about transparency and funding in Nollywood. He will also be sharing some industry wins. Rotus Oddiri, welcome to Arise 360.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you. And you are also our brand new global business reporter.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome to Arise.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks.
All right. So as you've heard in my intro,
yes,
the Disneyland in Shanghai has just been shut down. It's also been shut down in Hong Kong as well.
Yeah.
Tell us about the impact that will have on the entertainment industry globally. I mean, just the fact that I cannot even,
Yeah, I know. So China
right now.
China just had their Lunar Year, which is their Chinese New Year, from about the late January to early February. That's supposed to be a holiday period. That's supposed to be a big boost for tourism in their country. And so during that period, you have people going to museums, going to different sites, and also going to the movies as well.
Right.
And so with Disney Shanghai being closed and also Disney Hong Kong being closed, you're going to see, and that's what the theater revenue, theme park revenue that's going to be impacted on and going to be reduced, because the Chinese government now has said that people should stay home. Children aren't even going to schools. Schools are mandatory. So if you don't have children even being able to go to schools, entertainment is a choice. It's not mandatory.
Right.
So the impact is going to be a reduction in revenue for the Chinese entertainment sector, with less people going to see movies. And so it's going to have an impact with regards to, because we don't know how long this is going to last.
Yes, because I've also heard that it's over 70,000 cinemas that have been shut down.
That's correct.
Now, the fact that, Hollywood gets most of their revenues from the Chinese industry, because of their population. How much effect will this have on, Hollywood?
Well, you see, it's going to have a bit of an effect on Hollywood, but you see, there's a revenue sharing contract that Hollywood has with the Chinese. The Chinese, they structured a very good contract to the point where I think it's a 70-30 share. So if a Hollywood movie is opening in China, right, and you make $100 million, you're only going to get 70% of that 30% of that 100 million. So China keeps majority of the revenue. So Hollywood will feel an impact, but China is going to feel the impact more, because for movies like Mulan, for example, live action Mulan is supposed to be coming out early first quarter, and so it could possibly be impacted if this closure on theaters extends. So Hollywood will feel it, but from a profit-sharing perspective, China will feel it more. Chinese theaters will feel because they make the bulk of the movies. That's why because they know that their population is big, they're like, if you go Hollywood want to release a movie here, we're going to take most of the profits. So by that result, since they take most of the profits, they will feel the hit more than Hollywood.
So China is really the whole victim here with the entertainment industry at this point.
Yes, with regards to profit sharing.
So in terms of investment or investors, how do you think that would impact them as well? Does that impact investors in any way?
Well, I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, if you look at the stock price of a Disney, for example, Disney by early January 4th was trading about $145 per share. When the virus hit at about the 27th of January, it fell by about 6 to 8%, about $135. It recovered a little bit, but with investors basically being skittish about what could possibly happen with the outcome of the virus, oil prices have dropped, people are not going out. Investors that are invested in that particular market would also see their share prices reduce and also their investments come down. So it's going to be a reduction in value as far as investments are concerned. So there's a hit there. Right.
How long do you think this they can hold off?
Right.
For?
So
how long do you think this will last?
So for right now, where people are looking at maybe another 6 weeks. Possibly stretching into March. For the movie industry, the big summer releases are really from June, July. So apart from Mulan that's coming out in March, as far as the big releases are concerned, they may not have to worry about that, but the movies will still be released. Right. So for the movies that are coming out for the first quarter of the year that end in March, if things are still, if the theaters are still closed and movement is still restricted, they will see a hit in revenue because they're losing money.
Right, we can't even think about the movies that were already in production at this point.
That point.
I mean, what would you say would be the adverse effect for those?
It's a loss because the schedules for movies are set. I mean, with the way the West and East does it, they have set schedules for every movie, and so you're supposed to come out at that time. If there's a delay, you're losing revenue, right? Because at the time you're supposed to be out and you're supposed to be getting your money back from people coming to pay money to see your film. If they can't do that, then your scheduling is hit and your profits that you're supposed to be making from that movie is hit as well. And also, don't forget, there's also concession sales. So we're talking about sale of popcorn and drinks and other things that are attached to the sale of these movie tickets as well. So it's a big portion of the pie that is hit with regards to these closures remaining.
So is it safe to say the entertainment industry in China is at a halt right now?
Entertainment industry, aviation industry, manufacturing industry, oil and gas industry. China as a whole is suffering. But yes, the entertainment industry as a result of that is taking a big hit. But the entire country. I mean, it's because they're trying to contain this virus as much as they can.
I mean, this is a global effect. Imagine if it comes to Nigeria. I mean, the Nollywood industry is booming at this point. I know that you are very particular about the boom of the Nollywood industry.
Yes.
How would that impact Nollywood if it comes here?
Yeah, so you see, with China is a much bigger market. They got many more theaters. Nollywood is still growing. Lagos State has most of the theaters, and those still are expanding right now. We've got about 5, 7 on Lekki, a couple in Surulere. I think it's only in the teens, 20, 30 maybe. But as far as the country is concerned, we need more expansion. This will be the worst time for the virus to come here and restrict people from going out, right? So we saw what happened with Ebola. People weren't going out, they were staying indoors and so on and so forth. So we don't need that now with Nollywood because Nollywood is still in the ascension, gaining lots of popularity and so on and so forth. So now is definitely not the time for that to happen. But I think right now, 28,000 cases of infections, only about 565 deaths for the coronavirus.
Yes.
Most of that is in China, very few are outside. So, the African
We're keeping our fingers crossed for the African market right now.
Exactly, we are.
I know that you're a film critic and you've been very passionate about transparency and funding. Now, the numbers are just excited
they are.
right now for the Nollywood. Are these numbers real? Would you say that they're real? Okay,
so to an extent, I mean, we have to believe the studios. The studios are telling us this is how much these movies make. I think there was a list that came out, the top 10 highest grossing movies over the past decade. I think the figure was like 2.6 billion. The top movie made about 435 million, all the way down to the 10th, which was about 140 million. The issue is that we don't know the costs. So you come out and you tell us that your movie made 400 million, 500 million.
Right.
That's cool. But how much did it cost to make? So if we know how much it cost you to make the movie, that's your cost of goods sold. Then we can gauge your profitability. So my issue
but then how are they getting these numbers?
Okay, so I mean, there's the Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria. That's a group of cinema industry players who came together to try and give some more transparency to the box office figures for. So if you go to see a movie and you pay, we know that Ojy has paid X amount to see this particular movie. It's recorded, right? So they have a website. We can go on Scene's website. They give us weekly figures with regards to box office. So that's a good step, and I applaud them for doing that. And it's a good step towards transparency. So to that extent, I would say that those are real numbers. I have to believe that because of the collective people who have come together to put them together. But the issue is the studios just need to be more transparent about the cost. In the West, we know the costs. A movie will come out, you know how much it costs, you know what the box office is, so you can tell how profitable it's been. So that's the next step that we need to see from Nollywood in terms of transparency, costs.
Right. I know that you told me that the latest movie you saw was Living in Bondage, right?
Yes,
and that
the
movie
sequel
apparently made 158 million naira.
That's correct.
On box office.
That's correct. That's correct. In fact, I think it might even have increased since that time. But yes, about 168, the last reported figure. So it was a gripping movie. Of course, it's the sequel to the earlier one that came out in 1992. Yeah. So the occult movements and how they transfer wealth to their members and the struggle between selling your soul, being real to yourself, and so on. I thought it was a pretty good production.
So what do you think that they did right?
In the film?
Yes.
Well, you see, the film already had a strong fan base from the 1992 release.
Okay.
So it already, for anyone who saw that movie, Living in Bondage is like a cult classic, very, very popular. So they stayed true to the original, and just enhanced a few things. So by staying true to the source material, they essentially couldn't lose with regards to the film because people were going to see it anyway, just to see the continuation, which was a father in 92 and then son in 2019.
It was a father in 92.
Yeah.
But then also what the cast and crew also was really good. And I believe that the cinematography was completely amazing.
They used drone shots, aerial shots. There were some really nice luxury cars because there were lots of wealth and opulence that was being displayed in the film. That was authentic. The actors were able to carry that out, and they brought authenticity to the roles. So the cast and crew were able to, from showing off, displaying wealth, to showing the struggle between, trying to being taken into an occult and a secret society, to a number of different things. There was authenticity. Authenticity is one of the things that moviegoers appreciate, or I appreciate anyway. Nobody wants to go and see a film and roll their eyes thinking that things that are happening there are not real. So I give the movie credit for being authentic to the source material and also, being true to the roles that were in there.
Now, I read somewhere that Nigerians spent about 3.7 billion naira last year.
Right.
Briefly, can you tell me, is that an accurate figure?
So the most part, yes, I would believe that that's how much is spent because again, they're just taking, again, using your example, if Ojy wants to go see a film and takes her friends, they're just taking how much was spent, how much they collected, how much you spent on popcorn, how much you spent on drinks, so on and so forth. So that figure, it's been growing gradually year on year, and that again, that's a believable figure because that's how much people spent collectively. So I would give some Nollywood credit.
So we can say that Nollywood is thriving.
Oh yes, Nollywood is thriving and they're moving on up.
Thank you so much, Rotus, and I hope I get to talk to you again very soon.
Of course you will. You will. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.